Captain's Heart is a beautiful documentary. The treasure trove of artifacts that Captain Canute left for his family and grandson is really incredible. And I thought that it was really cool the way that the grandson pieces together these postcards, letters, old photographs, old videos to tell us the story of his grandson. It's really creative the way he tells it and really cool to learn about his grandfather's life from all the people who loved him and admired him. The storytelling in this documentary is fantastic. The way that the captain's grandson beautifully illustrates moments from his grandfather's life, and he reanimates old photographs and adds his moving illustrations into the photographs to bring them to life was really, really cool and something that I don't think I've seen before. It really helps to imagine what life was like back then. I just thought that the perspective of the grandfather and being able to see glimpses of history through the eyes and the lens of the grandfather's life was really cool as well. Like we saw the beginnings of World War One and in the midst of World War One from this perspective that can't come from anywhere else, which is really incredible. And just the way like the grandfather Canute left his letters that are just described in immense, incredible detail. His grandfather must have been a writer because just the detail that he writes in, for example, he gives us the exact height of the German officer that he encounters, and he describes how the officer's lips twitch when he speaks, and all of this incredible detail that the grandson is then able to take and bring to life via illustrations. Just the collaboration between generations was really awesome to see, and overall made for an incredible documentary.
I really liked The Captain's Heart. I found it to be a very well made documentary exploring the story of this really interesting man and everything he's experienced in his life. And I think it was done very well. Like the commentary from the children, and it was just I just thought it was really good. I really like the animation bits. I wish more people took risks like that and like showed the like animations mixed with like historical images and videos, and I think that was really interesting and very well done on the part of the filmmaker. I think it was overall well done and told a very good story and very well produced, good music and everything.
The Captain's Heart. This was an amazing documentary, and what a tribute to his grandfather. It really was a beautiful, beautifully done film. I loved the special effects. I think that was ingenious and very, very clever to do the special effects where you had the windows of the house, and inside each of the windows you could see the ocean crashing against a beach. I thought that was wonderful. I think that the interviews where the doors to another room opened up and they did a mask and had the interview in there that was framed by the doors that was going into the other room. I thought that was really, really cool. The voiceover was amazing. And I loved the fact that it wasn't just one voiceover. They actually casted a voice for the grandfather to talk about his life and what he went through. And I loved the emotion behind the voices. Each one of the voiceover actors, you could really feel and hear the emotion in their voices. Very believable. I loved the animation that they did and how they incorporated the old photographs in with the animation. Everything about this, the filmmakers just, honestly, they went above and beyond. I loved it, and I loved the whole story of listening to how he ended up getting his own ship and what his life was like, and throughout, World War II and what happened. And yeah, it was amazing. Fantastic, fantastic job. Oh, and also great musical score too. There were so many moments where the music just heightened the emotion. It uplifted you. It gave it a sense of suspense or a sense of foreboding. That was also something that really stood out to me as being utterly fantastic. So great job.
All right, I just finished watching The Captain's Heart, which I felt was a very beautiful and sort of detail-oriented construction of this captain who has a very complex background in which he's both a hero and is forced to help people who are not heroic at all. And it's a very beautiful piece, mainly because of the personal nature of the background. It's done by his grandson, I believe, and it's has a backdrop of being constructed with a lot of personal letters, documentary footage, a lot of archival footage that makes it a very realistic and a very tangible and piece that allows you to really feel and understand the dynamics that went into this man's life and what it was like to be him and to live through these times, through war, through shifting cultural dynamics as well as national dynamics in terms of his country. And it was just an incredible blend of animation, documentary footage, archival footage, his family speaking about him. There was just such an incredible sense of passion and love from all the characters and a sense of trying to create a whole idea of who this man was and not just a very limited concept of who this man was. And the construct of the film seemed to be such a feat of passion and dedication that it just comes through to you as an audience member. Even if this is not something that you thought you'd be interested in, it's able to pull you in and show you the complexities of what it was to be this man and what it was to love this man from the perspective of everybody around him. So in that sense, I thought it was a very powerful piece, a very focused and detail-oriented piece, and I really enjoyed it for those reasons.
This film is called The Captain's Heart. This was an incredibly touching doc feature from Denmark. It tells the story in great detail of the life and times of Captain Goth. What sets this film apart for me is that it is told and illustrated from the lens of his grandson, who uses letters, objects, and information from an old trunk once belonging to his grandfather. Both the animation and sketching by his grandson is amazing. He has such talent for capturing the atmosphere of the moods of the people and locations. And I also really like the setting of his lighthouse type room with images and videos in the windows. The storytelling is amazing, so many intimate details about his love for his wife and his devotion to his career and passion for his favorite ship, the Otto Petersen. The story also takes you along for the ride, recounting wars and political upheavals and lots of black and white footage. He was indeed a hero in that he never boasted and was able to save many people at sea and during wartime. It was also very difficult for him to assist the Nazis. It was fascinating hearing from his children and how much they admired this complicated man. The sound design was so wide and varied, from expressions of sentiment to excitement and danger. What a superb film.
This was a really great documentary. It was absolutely beautifully and creatively told. It's a really incredible story, and the way that it is told, storytelling as a documentary really does the grandfather slash captain's life justice. I loved the framing of the visuals, the use of the trunk, the way that we kind of see a really interesting approach to documentary storytelling and kind of breaking away from a standard form and telling it in a really intriguing and interesting way that captured both my attention and my imagination. I highly recommend it. It's like a really, really great um, documentary portrait celebration of someone's life. Really, really great.